Stay tuned and let's check out this Marvel Legends Jigsaw. Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. And remember, you can now hit that join button and become a channel member as well. Either show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. Today we are taking a look at the Marvel Legends Jigsaw, which is of course part of this year's Walgreens exclusive, all themed as supervillains, much like last year's Zemnu Build-A-Figure wave. We've already got Baron Zemo. The second one up is Jigsaw. And so far, they are 2 for 2. Really liking what they're going for here, giving us some more desirable supervillains. So, of course, I'm in the UK. We do not have Walgreens. So mine is available right now at all the places you can buy Marvel Legends. But Jigsaw is a sort of street-level villain I've been wanting on my shelf for a while. Desperately in need for an update, and I think Hasbro have done him justice here. So of course we're going to open him up. No Build-A-Figure piece, but he does come with lots of weapons, which I'm happy to see. I think all of these weapons we've seen before in Legends form, but I'm happy for them to pack them in again, as I really like these blast effects and we don't see them too often. So there he is in the packaging with the green background. Super villains Jigsaw on the front. There he is again on the side. Really like the artwork here. This artwork is very much like what we actually get in figure form, which is good to see as well. So no wave association, no cross sale, just a picture of Jigsaw, but we do get a write-up that reads, Jigsaw is a criminal with a heart as twisted and gruesome as his once beautiful face. So if you're like me and you love the street level sort of heroes and villains, then you'll be happy to add Jigsaw to the display. And yeah, the white suit is here, so I've got out the black background. So let's open him up. Here we have Jigsaw out of the packaging with all his weapons on the table. Now, first thing first, before we get into it, he is quite awkward to stand. He's on the old Coulson base body, it seems, with a new overlay and then the hammerhead arms. But because that head sculpt is marvellous, yes, pun intended, combined with the fact that Jigsaw is a desirable character for our street level villains, I think a lot of people are going to overlook the flaws this character has because it is got like pins, and in 2022, we know we can do better. But again, because he's a character we want to add to the shelf, we're probably going to overlook that, and he will still look great on the display, that is for sure. And they've packed in a lot of weapons we've seen before with Legends, but why not? He hasn't got secret powers. He's a street level thug. He needs some weapons, and it always looks good on display. They've even threw in the muzzle effects that we don't really see often, so I'm happy with that. But before we look at the actual figure, let's just break down the accessories. So here are all the weapons, accessories that Jigsaw comes with. Again, we've seen all of these before with one Legend or another, but it is nice to get a combined mix with one figure. So we've got the machete that we've already seen with the Punisher. We've got the baseball bat in this new aluminium colour that we last seen with Hammerhead. We've got the sawn-off shotgun that actually has the holes for the muzzle flashes as well. I believe we've seen that with Punisher. And those effects, I think the first time we got them were with a Black Widow, and it's nice to see them packed in, as I've already mentioned. And then we've got two knives, which again we've seen with multiple Marvel Legends. So can he hold them all? Of course he can. First we have the machete, which he can hold in a gripping hand, no problem at all. That will look nice undoubtedly. Here we have him with the baseball bat, and you can get him gripping it with both hands as well if you use the articulation properly, and it looks really good. Here we have him with the sawn-off shotgun in his trigger finger hand. The trigger finger hand also has an up and down hinge as well, which works very nice. And you'll notice that the sawn-off shotgun actually has two holes in the front of it for the muzzle flashes. So let's show you them. Both of the flashes fit into the front of the shotgun, and so does the smoke effects. And then finally, he has two knives that he can hold in both hands, but it is a little bit looser in the trigger finger hand. But still, lots of options now for weaponry for your shelf. And let's get into it. The main event is, of course, this brand new head for Jigsaw. Now, I believe this is Marvel's own interpretation of Jigsaw, as I can't think of any particular comic panel it resembles. But still, this is undoubtedly a very nice Jigsaw face with all the scars and stitches all over him, with the one bulging eye, the other one frowning. Yeah, this is just a very nice head sculpt, undoubtedly lovely. Lots of deco on there as well, so you can see the separate scars and the lips and the eyes and the sort of bruising and the bloodshot eyes. What's so good as well as seeing the scars behind the stitches. Like, bravo, Hasbro. You have to give credit where credit is due, because yeah, this is very nice. Sort of looks Joker-esque from this side here. How did you get those scars, mate? That is, I like that bulging eye as well. It gives him that sort of sinister look. And yeah, there you go. Just so nice. The teeth gritted as well. Yeah, so nice. Over the brow, the nose, up over on the... You can still see more as well on the top of the forehead, where the receding hairline is. But just so nice. So wait until you get this in hand for yourself. Hopefully the camera is doing it justice, but yeah, this is a great head sculpt. Hair's just simple enough all the way around. You can't really tell he's got a problem from the back. Looks like any normal bloke. Oh wait, there is a scar at the back as well. Didn't even notice that till now. There is still a scar up there at the back as well. That's a nice touch. So there you go, a little scar at the back, but then you're spinning around and that's where it starts to get a little bit ugly and nasty. But yeah, I love that bloodshot bulging eye. Like, it's just a little tint of red on that white, and then the blue eye as well, and just yeah, bravo. Again, credit where credit's due. This is really nice. So staying here, let me just zoom out just for a minute. We can sort of see he's also got the collar piece, which is a separate piece. That will come off. So I'm assuming we pop the head off, we take off the collar piece, which is just like a simple bit of metal. I can't remember what comic that's from, but they've obviously took inspiration from somewhere. But if you don't want the collar, you can get rid of it and then put the head back on. And now you can have the head without the collar, if you prefer. I do think the collar sort of hides the neck and give them more of a sort of a damaged look. But still, if you prefer not the collar, there you go. That is what it looks like without it. Does he have a bit of a long neck? Nah, I don't think so. I don't think that's too bad. I don't know. I just think the collar looks better. But yeah, had to pay a bit of attention to this head sculpt because, as I said, that's the main event. So let me put the collar back on. Make sure I get it on the right way around as well. There you go. It sort of drapes that properly over there, over the neck. No issues. It sort of sits to the same shape of the head, doesn't it? So that works out well. So zoom out. And again, this is a new overlay. I think this may be an overlay we've seen before, to be completely honest, but I'm terrible at playing that game. So if it's somewhere we've seen before, I'm sure someone will correct me in the comments. But the arms are from Hammerhead, so they're a little bit thicker. The suited body is underneath that overlay as well. You can see the tie, and then moving down to the legs, just simple suited body legs with the big pins. Unfortunately, still pins on the arm. Again, unfortunately, 2022, it's a shame seeing that, but it's, again, all our figures have still got pins on, so it's not a problem. And then down to the ankle pivot, and there's tiny feet. That is the one issue with these bodies, is that the feet just don't get them to stand easily, annoyingly. So he may cause an avalanche on the display. But yeah, very crisp white suit as well. No real blood or anything on it. It would have been good to have like a blood splatter on there, but I understand Hasbro can't do that. But yeah, I had to pull out the black background so I could show this off properly, because it would have vanished on my white one. But hopefully that's nice and crisp and gives you a very nice look at the figure in hand. Because again, yes, it's got a lot of reuse. It still has the pins, etc, etc. But let's be honest, we needed an update on Jigsaw, and at least we have this. The head sculpt is the main event for sure. Okay, before we dive too deeply into comparisons, let's first just take a look at these suited bodies. So I've got my own custom Matt Murdock here, which is basically the Coulson body. I've just painted the tie red and put a Matt Murdock head on there. And then we have the recent Hammerhead that came in the Spider-Man Retro Wave 2. So you basically take the Coulson body and the Hammerhead body, smash them together with a white suit, and you have Jigsaw. Sort of. The overlays are different though on these two. You'll notice the black lapel there on Jigsaw, and on the overlay for Hammerhead, there is no lapel. So the overlay for the three-piece suit is different. The arms are the same though, because you can see the buttons here on the wrists, and even on Jigsaw you can see those same buttons painted in black there. The legs are different. On the side you can notice Jigsaw has the pins, while Hammerhead has those thicker legs with no pins. So Jigsaw has the same legs as Coulson. I just think the legs have been reversed, so the creases of the legs are different, but they are the same, I think. But again, if I'm wrong, someone will tell me, I'm sure. But you know what we're going for. So I am curious though, because these are just the suited bodies, what's so good is that you can do head swaps. So let's swap this Jigsaw head onto these other bodies to see how he looks proportionately. So first up, here we have Jigsaw on the recent Hammerhead body, which is a little bit broader and thicker as they used it for Happy as well. And there you go, that is Jigsaw with the thicker body. I do genuinely prefer the white suit, but this head works. And of course, you can have it with the collar or without the collar. The collar just sits nicely over the neck. So without the collar though, you can see it gets a little bit wobbly, and also the skin tone of the face is different to the neck, but that might work for the character. But I do think it looks better with the collar because then you don't notice these things. Here we have Jigsaw on the Coulson body, and you'll notice the head actually looks too big for this body, but what Hasbro have done is made the thicker overlay and also used those hammerhead arms to sort of hide the proportions of the head on this base body, which you can see this body's thicker because of the overlay and the arms, but it is still on the Coulson base. But there you go, it works with the collar again. You can use it without the collar, but then it's definitely going to look a little bit too big. And again, the skin tone's different as well. So yeah, a little bit comical, unfortunately, this time. And when it comes to articulation, because it is the suited body, you're very limited. There is going to be a crunch under this overlay, but you're not going to be able to use it much at all, unfortunately, because the thickness of the overlay. But if you've got this body, you know that there is a cut there for the ab crunch. But with this body, you can get it to click because the suit, but because this is an overlay, you can't get the click. So not really any use of the ab crunch there, but the arms will go all the way up to 90, and there is a double joint on the elbow. So that works out pretty well. Of course, they spin all the way around too. The legs, there is a thigh cut up there, so you can swivel them, which helps to trying to get them to stand. Legs will go out a little bit, not crazy. Double jointed knees, can kick his own ass, no problem there. There is an ankle pivot and rocker, but again, the small feet get it really hard to balance him. The hands, this one has, or both of the hands actually have an up and down hinge, which is probably better for his weapons. I already mentioned that, but yeah, up and down hinges on the hands, and there is a bicep swiveled up there at the top. Head, obviously, on the rocker, so you know what you can get there, but the collar limits that. So yeah, standard suited body articulation, unfortunately, but you can still get him there standing, looking imposing when he's holding all his weapons. Let's dive into the rest of the comparisons. First up, we have Daredevil and Punisher. This is the Amazon exclusive box set Daredevil, and then we have the Walgreens exclusive Punisher. And I would say that Jigsaw and Punisher are probably the biggest rivals. That's going to make the most sense on your shelf. So it only makes sense to see a couple more Punishers. This is definitely my favourite one. This is the Rider's Wave Punisher with that helmet. But if we take the helmet off, you can see that Punisher has a beaten up head as well. So you can definitely get Jigsaw and Punisher doing some battles on the shelf. Here we have a Jigsaw compared to another couple of big, and I mean big, street villains with, of course, Tombstone and Kingpin. And obviously Kingpin and Jigsaw share the same fashion sense, or go to the same tailor at least, both with those white suits. And let's stay big as we see the brand new retro Rhino. Go and check out my review on the channel for that right now. And of course, the retro Spider-Man. And since we're on the black background, I very rarely get to show off these figures, and we're all on a Moon Knight hype at the minute as well. Here we have both versions of the Marvel Legends Moon Knight, the Walgreens exclusive and then the standard wave. For a female Marvel Legend comparison, here we have Electra and Black Widow. This is the Black Widow all in white, so again, makes sense to show off in the black. She's also the one that came with those same muzzle flashes on her gun that we got with Jigsaw. So if you've got her, you know what to expect with those. I said at the start of the video that Hasbro are 2 for 2 so far on this year's Walgreens exclusive with Baron Zemo and Jigsaw, and I stick to that. These two are both great additions to the shelf. Here we have Tigra and Frogman. And then last but never least, here we have Captain Britain and Hal Fire Hank. Final thoughts on this Marvel Legends Walgreens exclusive Jigsaw. This is a really nice figure and definitely an upgrade compared to any previous version of Jigsaw you have on your shelf. That head sculpt is so good, it might quite honestly be one of the best Marvel Legends comic book head sculpts, full stop, period. Doesn't matter what character you're talking about, that's how good it is. And it sort of makes you forgive the shortcut they took on this figure as well, with reusing parts of other suited bodies. The white suit is a nice touch, and it is packed with lots of weapons. I would selfishly like some more interchangeable hands. I would have liked some fisted hands so you can get him into some fights with Punisher, but at least he can hold the weapons that he came packed with, and you probably could find some fisted hands amongst your legends to put on there as well. I just didn't find any today, but I'm sure you will, but if you do find some, let me know in the comments. But anyway, I ramble. What accessories, apart from interchangeable hands, is he missing? Do you reckon we could have got another head in there? I think Hasbro did all right, whacking the box with loads of weapons. Again, reuse, but at least we can use them with not just Jigsaw, but other characters in the display. But you let me know what you think in the comments below, most importantly. And if you like Marvel Legends, then trust me, you're in the right channel. I do live streams, reviews, all that good stuff. Go and check out the playlist. But most importantly, please, hit that subscribe button. Much appreciated. You can also hit that join button and become a channel member as well. I'd either show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. You can follow me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. And I'm on Twitter as well. Tweet me, don't be shy, at Dan Who Reviews. And until then, click that notification bell. I always forget to say that, but honestly, do it. I've got lots more Marvel Legends to come. And I will, of course, see you on the next one.